Indeed. Right, let's move on with the next part of the programme and look at, in slightly more detail, let's look at some of the reasons why we believe British engineering is among the best in the world. And I suppose if you want game-changing innovation and cutting-edge science and engineering, universities are a good place to look, and there are numerous examples these days of very productive collaborations between universities and manufacturing companies. In the next session, we're going to discuss how you can make the most of those kinds of collaboration between industry and academia. This session has been developed by the UK government's innovation agency, which is called the Technology Strategy Board. They work with partners from one particular project that you're going to hear about. First of all, I'd like to introduce Allan Cook, CBE, and invite him to start the session. He's got a wealth of experience across advanced engineering. He's chair of the engineering consultancy Atkins. He's chair of Selex Galileo, which is a defense electronics subsidiary of Finmeccanica, and which is especially relevant to this session, he is the chair of SEMTAR, which is the Sector Skills Council for Science, Engineering and Manufacturing Technologies. Allan Cook.
Good morning, everybody. I suppose that I should really start off by saying this is a fantastic venue and a fantastic experience, and we've already had, I think, quite stimulating discussions already. But just in case it's missed your attention, we're in the midst of the most successful Olympics in our history. A fantastic, really, landscape for UK and what we're actually doing. And as chairman of Atkins, I had the privilege of being at the opening ceremony, which was, of course, televised right away around the world. But what was missed in the televised side of the opening ceremony, which was a fantastic spectacle, was just a small cameo from Danny Boyle, who actually said, and there may well have been some people here that were at the opening ceremony, but there was just a small cameo from Danny Boyle. And what he said is that, look, came on, open neck shirt, jeans, trainers, and said right at the beginning, he said, look, this is just the prelude for what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks, and then leading on to that, the Paralympics. And he said, but I want to really focus on the fact that this is all about effort, it's all about success, it's all about what is really great and what we can do within Britain. And I'm immensely proud of what we're going to show you in the next 2 or 3 hours. It was actually longer than that. But it was fantastic, and he was very modest, very proud of what he had achieved. But what he said was, this is, in his words, the depiction of what's made Britain great. This is innovation, it's courage, it's actually the characteristic, the creativity, and the imagination that actually has made this country what it is today in terms of the whole aspect and leading into the efforts that we're going to go on through the Olympics. And right at the center of the Olympic opening ceremony, I think for me the highlight was the evolution of the cauldron that was actually a remarkable feat of advanced manufacturing and engineering. It was a fantastic atmosphere to be at the opening ceremony, but I think from TV you saw a much better view of the cauldron itself. And that, you know, from an engineering point of view, I thought it was just absolutely stunning. So whether it was bonkers or brilliant, as somebody said at I think it was Nick who said at the beginning, bonkers or brilliant, whatever it was, the cauldron itself, from an advanced manufacturing and engineering point of view, was just fantastic. And that was the idea and the thought and the design of a guy called Thomas Heatherwick, who was also mentioned earlier on. 42-year-old, educated at Manchester Poly, and then went on to the Royal College of Art. And he's done an amazing number of things, some of which we've got downstairs, in terms of his design, in terms of taking, you know, the thought process, the design, and taking from an engineering point of view and making it into, as I say, what I thought was a fantastic experience and a remarkable feat. It was also no accident that actually the lighting of the cauldron was done by some aspiring Olympians. These young kids that were going to become the Olympians of the future. They were brought on, they were introduced, they were sponsored by current Olympians, and they were brought on as aspiring Olympians. You know, what sort of message have we given to these kids over the last 2 weeks in terms of what has been achieved, not only by Britain, but by the whole international community? So I think it's particularly relevant today at the Global Business Summit that we should remember very clearly that without the links that go on with schools, further education, with universities, and how industry and government link together to make this a remarkable achievement for our industry and what we can do overall, we should, I think this session itself, the lead into it is, I think, a real good setting for what we want to achieve today, and of course, not only today, but in the future. This is a fantastic springboard over the last 2 weeks of getting to where we need to be in terms of productivity, creativity, innovation, courage, and the charisma that we need to drive this forward.